During the Second World War, the Nazis and people that supported Hitler's verge of war, when the war collapsed, the Nazis ran into hiding. Most of them were caught and executed in public. Also, in the Soviet Union, the leaders, the communists that were against what was happening, most of them were caught and executed in public. The reason I've told you this is I have recently been doing a research on the whereabouts of the Uhuru Kenyatta's cabinet. Where did all of them go to? Where is Mr. Fred Matiang'i? Where is Mr. Karanja Kibicho? Where is Raphael Tuju? Where is Peter Munya? The leaders that beat up their chest were ready to execute Mr. William Ruto in the public eye. They disguised Ruto as the most corrupt leader that Africa's ever seen. They disguised Ruto then as a deputy president, as a man that should not be seen in public or vying for any public seat. Now, he is the president of the Republic of Kenya. So the question is, what happened to these leaders? First, I will start with Fred Matiang'i's whereabouts. Rumor has it that Matiang'i is currently out of the country. Most of the time, he does not spend his time in Kenya. A reason being, he is always fearing that something might bounce back to him because he was linked to so many scandals during after the Kenya KWANZA government took over. They arrested Matiang'i. They went ahead to prosecute him for his alleged link to Uhuru Kenyatta and the Azimio la Umoja coalition led by Honorable Raila Odinga. So Matiang'i went ahead to ask for forgiveness from William Ruto and also to play a card of staying away. Matiang'i made a promise to William Ruto that he will not get involved in Azimio la Umoja's business. That is one thing, because the William Ruto spies are always monitoring Matiang'i. Also, Matiang'i made sure that he does not want to get involved with the current government, anything. In the recent, I've given you an example of the war, the Second World War. But also when it comes to the Western countries, once a president is elected in office and also his cabinet is dissolved, what happens is the past leaders always have an influence with the current regime. They always have meetings where they advise and also share their knowledge with the current regime on how to deal with certain matters when it comes to the government. For Matiang'i being the Interior Cabinet Secretary then, and also the Chief Minister, he was supposed to be advising Kithure Kindiki on how to deal with the situation of banditry in the Rift Valley region. He was supposed to be advising Kithure Kindiki on how to deal with the current situation of demonstrations in the country. But Matiang'i flew out of Kenya to the United Kingdom, where he has been residing there for some time. He comes back to Kenya time and then. You get? So to protect his image and to protect himself and the family and his property from being under watch and also being subjected to public torture by the government, Matiang'i had to promise William Ruto, I will stay away from criticizing your regime, I will stay away from your government, and I will let them work the way they want. That's why you haven't seen Matiang'i for a very long time. since February, Matiang'i has not been heard. Because Matiang'i, let me tell you, a government has a way of hitting the nail on the head. If Matiang'i would be at the front line fighting with Azimio la Umoja, knowing what he knows, he has a lot of dirt under his shoes that he does not want the public to smell. If he goes out there, tries to fight the government has a way of exposing his dirty deals to the public. Because let me tell you, it is obvious. Most of our Kenyan leaders, that's why when I speak about our Kenyan regime, it always disguises most of us. Because when you speak about it, you get to reason and think of how they think. It is protecting your own personal interests, not the interest of the public. And that's why Matiang'i, if he was a true patriot of this nation, as he always disguised himself to be during the regime of Uhuru Kenyatta, he would not be quiet. He would continue pressuring the government. But because Matiang'i was a corrupt leader, I shall say that, and I am not sorry. That's what he is. If he wasn't corrupt, then why would he fear speaking out? Why would he fear speaking out? So he went ahead to hide himself. Yes, you might draw tantrums and attacks towards me, but truth be told, that's why he's hiding in UK. And I have done an exposé on the Pandora Papers, linking Uhuru Kenyatta and the Pandora Papers and how they exist until now. Matiang'i might also be a client of the Pandora Papers. Because during their regime, is the regime that sent this country down a drain. That Rutos tried to rescue us, but we are always sinking. From Matiang'i, let's speak about Peter Munya. Peter Munya was the CS of Agriculture, a sector that was inherited by the former senator of Meru County, Uhuru Kenyatta. These are all the sons of Mount Kenya. But Peter Munya was a man so full of himself. But he trusted Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga more than he trusted his wife. That's the problem. You can never trust. Let me tell you one thing with the Meru people. Meru people are tired of Kiraito Morongi's gubernatorial leadership. They were tired of Kiraito Morongi. The current governor of Meru, that is Mama Kawira Mwangaza, was just a mayor women representative. Kiraito Morongi, Mithika Lintore, tried to seek that post. He would have not gotten it. But it doesn't matter which avenue or which party or coalition Peter Munya would have sought the leadership as a governor in Meru County through, but he would have gotten that seat without being opposed during the 2022 general election. But due to his allegiance to Uhuru Kenyatta and following Uhuru Kenyatta blindly, I told you he believed to and trusted Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga more than his wife. He went ahead to fight with different leaders in Meru County. And that led him to making a very silly decision of saying that he won't be contesting as a gubernatorial aspirant in the Meru County region politics in the year 2022. That killed his political career. Because people were tired with Morongi. They wanted Munya to come back to finish the project that he had started in his first term as a governor. So, Munya, after abusing RUTO on different occasions, he also had to play his cards well. Stay quiet. Avoid the public. But recently, he has made an appearance during the demonstrations the last 2 weeks with Martha Karua and Jeremiah Kioni in Meru County. And that might call upon William Ruto to whip him so badly that he won't make an appearance again. I tell you, the government knows how to deal with its culprits. And Ruto is a man after revenge. Ruto is a man after revenge. Be sure of that. And if you did him bad, you'll get his wrath. Only time will tell. From Peter Munya, let's speak about Karanja Kibicho, the PS of Interior. Yo, this man was so full of himself. So full of himself. Karanja Kibicho and Rafael Tuju, these men who would abuse William Ruto in public. Hey, they had it in themselves that, yo, only God can talk to us. Only God can tell us what to do. But this man is nothing to us. Well, let me tell you, the wrath of William Ruto, when Kibicho realized we have lost the election, the first thing he did was knock at Ruto's home in Karen, then as a deputy president. He told him, man, you should understand I was doing this under the orders of Uhuru Kenyatta. The best thing that you can do for me is at least forgive me. You are a man of God and all blah, 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 blah. And William Ruto believed him and he let him go, but he never gave him a job. Other people are people like David Morade, abuses, trashes. Right now, Rafael Tuju, we are being told that he moved to Australia. He has been in Australia, moving between Australia and Netherlands. Yeah, he has acquired different properties there. He's trying to establish a life out of this country in the next 10 years or so, because he believes he might, these people might come knocking at his door sometime from now on. That's why a man that stood ground and fought for Azimio with all he had is nowhere to be seen in the current regime. So it is like the Nazis government. The Nazis, once they were defeated in the World War II, they were torn apart. Somebody went to disguise as somebody. Like the man that was arrested by the Israeli government some years back. He was among the leaders that were so close to Adolf Hitler that executed over 1,000 Jews, and he had moved from Germany. He had gone to he acquired a new name, a new identity. He went to live in Argentina, working as a mechanic, and he was a warlord. But the Israeli intelligence under the Mossad done their research and realized this man is hiding in Argentina. They went ahead to capture him and execute him in public. So it's the same thing. The Nazis of the Uhuru Kenyatta's government are hiding, trying to disguise as somebody else somewhere. All of them, most of them are living, they were so full of themselves. Now you can never see any of them. And that's what's up. This is in regards to the Uhuru's cabinet. My name is Felix Mwenda. This is FM Update Show. I will be back with more stories and more news for you. Please don't leave. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you. Subscribe.